Every now and then I get the urge to make a commentary video. Not about a particular game, but about some deeply alarming psychological pattern I've observed across the entire MMO genre. And today we're classifying one of my favorites. What kind of person do you become when a corpse has loot on it? Because apparently killing the monster is the cooperative part. The moment the body hits the floor, we learn who you really are. Today, we're examining the looting archetypes of the MMO, and the social etiquette, questionable behavior, and occasional acts of outright goblinry that emerge the second there's something shiny on a corpse. Now, my Guild Wars 2 friends don't face this particular brand of psychological warfare, because all their loot is apparently handled like a TikTok mother preparing packed lunches for a brood of 7 offspring. Every single item is individually wrapped, neatly labeled, and color-coded so the other spawn children can't lay a single finger on it. That is how Guild Wars 2 handles loot. So this video probably isn't for you, though you're more than welcome to hang out, because we are about to roast some people. Let's set the scene. We have a group. The exact size doesn't matter, but let's assume we have 5 players. In most MMOs, when a mob dies, its rotting corpse contains money or loot. Some games use a round-robin system, meaning every person in the group gets a fair, orderly turn at looting their own designated dead mob. It is a fabulous way to ensure loot is evenly distributed. It's practically the TikTok mom model, except if one of those mobs happens to drop something incredibly rare or valuable, that civilized round-robin system immediately takes a detour. The item goes up for grabs for the entire party, even if it was technically your mob to loot, at which point the party starts rolling some dice. Now, this concept might be deeply traumatizing for the Guild Wars 2 community. I honestly don't know if they understand what it's like to not receive their pre-packaged, individually wrapped loot. Maybe I need to put a warning label right here across the screen. Which brings me directly to our first looter archetype. The Loot Goblin. The Loot Goblin hits need or greed on absolutely every item that pops up on the screen, regardless of whether their character can actually use it, wear it, or if they already own 4 identical copies of it. They treat cooperative group content like their own personal lottery. Their excuses are varied. Oh, I can sell it for gold, or it's for my alt, or my personal favorite, my brother plays a rogue and he might want it. Sir, your brother is not in this group. And the Loot Goblin does not care if they already won 6 items tonight. In their mind, it's not their fault the RNG gods decided to bless their dice. The button was there. They pressed it. They won. Technically fair. Socially, you're an asshole. Because while the Loot Goblin walks out of a dungeon fully geared, 4 other players leave empty-handed, wondering why they bothered showing up. And one of the Loot Goblin's most powerful arguments brings us to a particularly dangerous subspecies, the alt lawyer. Their main character doesn't need the drop, but fortunately, they have an alt character for every conceivable item in the game's database. Plate armor? Oh, my paladin could use that. Caster robe? Well, actually, I am leveling a wizard. How about a dagger? Oh, I've been thinking about making a rogue. At a certain point, they're rolling need for hypothetical characters that do not currently exist on any server. The Cherry Picker. This looter aggressively clicks every single dead mob looking exclusively for rare items and high-value drops, usually while the enemy is still in the middle of its death animation. leaving all the junk and unwanted materials just rotting on the corpse. They'll say something incredibly magnanimous like, "Oh, if you guys need any of these gems I've been looting, just let me know." And sure, they probably mean it in the moment, but they are playing the statistical odds that absolutely no one is going to audit them at the end of the night. Furthermore, in many traditional MMOs, a corpse literally cannot despawn and refresh the zone until it is completely emptied. This player is actively slowing down respawn rates for everyone else in the region, leaving a trail of garbage bodies in their wake. Pick up the damn potato and drop it on the ground. Or, you know what? Let the body sit there for 15 seconds so the cleric, sitting on his ass, can experience the pure joy of hearing that glorious coin collection sound just once in his life. You don't need to click every single corpse. The vacuum cleaner. Unlike the cherry picker, the vacuum cleaner does not discriminate. Absolutely everything goes straight into the bag. Scraps? Mine. Batwing? Mine. Moldy bread? Oh, mine. A crafting ingredient worth 3 copper that they have never crafted with and never intend to craft with in this lifetime. Also mine. They don't even look at what they're clicking. The corpse exists, therefore it must be emptied. Now, evolutionary biologists believe this is actually the larval stage of our next archetype, the Inventory Hoarder. Hi, that's me. The vacuum cleaner eventually evolves directly into the Inventory Hoarder. This person refuses to delete or sell anything, running around the world with 99% full bags, and then halts the entire group's progression for 10 solid minutes to clear space because they suddenly can't pick up a single item. I'm sorry, did you need a heal? One moment, I need to make a critical life decision on whether to destroy this tomato or this seashell to make room. This person is wasting precious group time over minor management issues they should have handled in town. While they fiddle around in their bags, mobs aren't being fought and players aren't being healed. The Never Looter. This person loots absolutely nothing, which seems harmless on the surface, until they spend the entire evening complaining about how they never have any money or trade skill materials. They are so terrified of appearing greedy that they voluntarily transform into a street corner beggar, declaring their poverty. How do you guys have so much money? Because we loot things, Kevin. The loot accountant. This person remembers literally every single item every player has received. Didn't you get those boots on Tuesday? No, I didn't. Yes, you did. 9:43 p.m. You rolled a 73. They have a completely invisible, highly detailed spreadsheet running in their head at all times. And honestly, sometimes the loot accountant is the only thin line standing between civilized society and the loot goblin. The Retroactive Needer. This one causes instant group drama. An item drops. The rolls commence. The item is distributed and equipped. Then, 30 seconds later, wait, I actually could use that. I mean, I meant to roll need. Can we just re-roll? Or, I was comparing my gear. I missed the pop-up. I'll roll now. And now everyone is forced to awkwardly stare at the player who has already equipped it or has made permanent plans for its final destination. The Cleric Tax. This player firmly believes, I performed the undesirable job, therefore I am legally entitled to additional compensation. It could be the tank tax, the healer tax, the puller tax. I've been healing you ungrateful people for 3 straight hours. I am taking the gem. And obviously, that's wrong. Loot should be distributed fairly. Nobody deserves preferential treatment simply because of the role they played. Well, the cleric has been sitting on the ground for 3 hours, and you people haven't let him loot anything, and he did resurrect Kevin twice. You know what? I think I've changed my mind. Let's give the cleric the gem. Actually, give him the boots too. You know what? This entire video has been an elaborate piece of healer propaganda. But whichever species of looter you happen to be, remember, pick up your trash, pass on gear you genuinely don't need, occasionally let someone else hear the coin sound, and for the love of God, clean out your inventory before you join the group. Unless you're me, I need those seashells. Until next time, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next world.